Ring Runner is not just another space shooter, and it's not just another RPG. It combines the best element of both genres to produce something unique. So what does that mean for the respective genres? Well, for shooters like Space Pirates and Zombies, the answer is pretty easy. In addition to rich storyline, Ring Runner brings the fantastic variety of abilities you'd expect from a modern RPG. For modern action RPGs like League of Legends or Torchlight, the answer is a bit tougher, but can be divided into 4 main points. First, we've turned movement into piloting. Anyone who's played games like World of Warcraft or Defense of the Ancients will tell you that movement is a big part of skill. So we've infused our movement with a Newtonian flight model and physics engine. Players won't just sidestep incoming attacks, they can do barrel rolls, surf on shockwaves, teleport, and pull themselves towards their targets. Ring Runner lets you make your own luck. A close fight in an RPG can come down to an unlucky miss or a fortunate critical. There are no critical strikes in our game, but many skills can deal burst damage if the attack lines up just right. Missing isn't random either. If you want to make sure an ability doesn't miss, all you gotta do is aim. This makes it possible for a ship with worse shields and weapons to overcome a more difficult opponent. Skills affect the way you play. This is a big one. In lots of games, the difference between using a firebolt and an ice bolt is usually just a small effect, like a dot or a snare. But actually using the ability is the same. Target an opponent, get in range, press a button. Each ability in Ring Runner requires different strategies and maneuvers to use. Lasers require you to aim directly at the target. Rockets take a bit of leading. And how about summoning a comet, or dropping a mining drill, or performing an X-strike? It's not just a matter of choosing a target and pushing a button. And we believe that gameplay should be an art form, not a science. High-end competition in RPGs can become a bit formulaic, with players resorting to certain builds and skill combinations to be successful. Combating this is tough because if one build isn't better than another, what's the point of customization? And adding more randomness only makes the influence of criticals and misses worse. Our answer is to make gameplay more involved. Our abilities are equally effective, but require different playstyles to use, which means that a build that works best for you might not be the best for another player using that same ship. This all adds up to a game that plays like none other, and adds one more layer to the gameplay of action RPGs. Ring Runner can be played alone, competitively online, or cooperatively, both online and locally. In 1999, my brother and I were hooked on Mythic Entertainment's space shooter, Silent Death Online. Like many online games in the late 90s, you had to pay by the hour to play SDO. And in just one single month, we managed to rack up a $1,000 credit card bill and were promptly grounded. We never got to play again, but we vowed to one day make a modernization of SDO and sell it for a cost that wouldn't get anyone a timeout. We carried this dream with us to college, and with no prior industry experience, began development of Ring Runner. Back then, we barely knew how to use the Photoshop. But after 5 years of hard work, Ring Runner has reached the state it's in today. All it took was giving up any semblance of a social life and surviving on fast food. We discovered that we were actually machines that turned burgers and tacos into video games. Ring Runner features 65 playable hulls that can be divided into 5 archetypes. We've got rogues, grapplers, casters, arsenals, and fighters. These ships can be customized from a selection of over 300 skills. Our story-driven campaign is going to be about 20 hours long, and most of the second half can be played local co-op. The universe is based on a sci-fi novel I wrote, which, like the game, is equal parts humor, action, and thought-provoking sci-fi concepts.
All the planets, orbiting moons, stars, and nebulas you've been seeing are procedurally generated by the game's engine. There are billions of possible backgrounds. The AI-controlled ships are procedurally generated as well, able to use any combination of skills that the players would. This means there are billions of possible configurations for enemies.
We've got 3 multiplayer modes that we're still refining: Wave Survival, Deathmatch, and Base Battles. Just like in the campaign, you can unlock new hulls and equipment through victories in these modes.
Space can be a cold place, so we've livened it up with hillbillies on asteroids, galactic arenas, space trailer parks, and of course fast food restaurants.
You also get to explore the subrostrum, which is the space beneath atoms, where matter is so small and delicate it can be affected by a mere force of will.
The game's original soundtrack and all of the sound effects were developed in-house. So if the game is nearly completed, why are we asking for your support? So far, the game has been funded by student loans and part-time jobs. But when we started working on Ring Runner, we're hoping to get the game done in a couple of years. We're working on our 5th year now, and we both graduated, turning our loans into bills. The money you contribute today will help us finish the game as soon as possible and finally make our dreams come true. In other words, we need more burgers. We've got an alpha demo available for download, so you can try the game out. And we want to invite the community to become part of the process. You can even become a full-fledged game designer for just $500 and help us create a new skill. But whether you decide to contribute or not, we'd appreciate your feedback on our forums. We're committed to listening to our players and tailoring the game to their preferences. Thanks for watching.